It's homecoming week, and there's a whole lot of celebrating going on. Wave the flag and celebrate as everyone gets into the action, even Howie the Husky. But nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better than Ricker. He has moves like Jagger. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro, and it's getting down to some playoffs. We're starting playoffs soon.
Yeah, we got playoffs starting this week
Yep.
for both soccer teams. We'll get to that toward the end of the show. Start where we always do with the football team. 6 games down, 2 remaining on the schedule. The struggle's severe for this program.
Well, unfortunately, they continue, and they had a tough game against Anoka, and they thought there would be a rebound opportunity against Andover, but unfortunately, they just really weren't able to get anything going offensively, certainly, and it's another week back to the drawing board for the coaching staff.
Yeah, the football team will play its final home game of the season on Friday, and it may be their last chance, realistic chance, at a win. Cardinals had what looked like a great opportunity last week, but they let it get away. They had all the homecoming hype and a big crowd on hand, facing a very beatable Andover team coming off its first win. But the Huskies came out on the attack and took the game by the throat. Cardinals start with the ball, but the Huskies defense charges out of the gates. Van Holtzen runs out of time and gets run under by 6'3", 230 pounds of Jackson Sudd. Andover offense starts with good field position. They finish with a big run up the middle by Carson Syke, 23 yards to start the scoring midway through the first. Mike Wanmaker is a weapon for the Huskies, and they use him a lot out of the Wildcat formation. His 5-yard touchdown and his second 2-point conversion gave Andover a 16-0 lead after the first quarter. Connor Knopfli and Vince Clark hooked up for 3 touchdowns to help the Huskies beat Centennial a week earlier. They did it again against the Cardinals. First, an 18-yard score, who wide open Clark over the middle. Then less than 2 minutes later, Clark fade to the sideline, just gets his feet in for the score. That gave Andover a 32-point lead at the half. It was Knopfli and Clark again on their opening possession of the third quarter. This one a 26-yard TD down the seam. That made it 40-0. Cardinals did avoid the shutout late in the third quarter. Tyler George, at quarterback, able to roll out, find Tyler Sinnell all alone down the sidelines, 19 yards to the paint. That's the end of the scoring, and Cardinals fall to 0-6 with the 40-7 loss.
Coach Malling said we need to find a way to put some points on the board, and unfortunately they didn't get a chance to do that on Friday night. Give credit to the Huskies. They came out, that victory over Centennial kind of turned things on for them, and they came out and they played tough.
But they came out incredibly fired up.
They really did, and they had all cylinders going, and unfortunately the Cardinals couldn't match it.
Yeah, and we talk about what remains on their schedule. They host Osseo on Friday. Osceo's a 1-5 team. Their only win coming by just a couple of points over Centennial, which we talked about, a beatable team. And then they're at Totino, one of the best teams in the state, to finish the season.
Yeah, their final home game of the year. Hopefully they can put some things together and try and get that first win of the season before facing the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, they just have to get the mindset turned around and go in there with the fire and the energy and hopefully take the game to the Orioles. Will be there, of course, on Friday night for the final game of the year from the stadium. Tennis team is done as a team. They were eliminated in the first round of the section tournament last week. They lost to Blaine 7-0. All 7 scores were very close, but none tipped in the Cardinals' favor. Emily Everhart at third singles, and the combination of Westra and Machinsky at first doubles. Both won their first set, but ended up losing in 3. And there you see Westra and Machinsky. You don't get much closer than that. 6-4, 4-6, 6-7. The individual tournament for the Cardinals will start on Monday of next week. And, of course, we'll have the latest as it is available for you when we do the program on Monday.
We definitely will. We'll keep you updated.
Volleyball team in Rogers on Monday of last week while we were doing the show. No, that was Tuesday. They were in Rogers on Tuesday.
That is correct.
Tonight they're in action on a Monday.
Yes, they are.
Last week it was on a Tuesday. They went to Rogers. They lost in 3, 25-13, 25-23, and 25-19. They go down to the Royals. Eva McDonough led the way for the Cardinals on the attack with 5 kills. Paige Fossland had 8 assists. Allison Yang had 13 digs, and Lauren Koss had a couple of blocks.
Well, on Thursday, the Cardinals went to Andover to take on a Husky team that also is struggling, but coming off of a big win. Coon Rapids was trying to keep their losing streak from reaching double digits, and looking at this matchup as one of the most winnable in the remaining schedule. They would need their big players to come up big if they wanted to rein in the Huskies. Players like Ellie Hinsey, who comes up with the big stuff on this point. But the Huskies, they're going to run off a couple big streaks early in the first set and cruise from there. Brianna Leverance with the kill in the middle, and Andover takes the first set 25-12. Coon Rapids able to keep the score a little bit closer throughout the second set when they're getting contributions from all over the court. Nisha Whitfield dropping the hammer from the right side here. Score was tied at 14, and a nice shot by Nisha there to get the point. But Andover is a big-time player in Serena Smith, and when they're in doubt, they set her up and she delivers. Smith helps the Huskies take the second set 25-18. She's a good player. Cardinals trying to avoid the sweep, but the Huskies just keep going back to their big dog. Another big kill for Smith here. The third set was Andover's most dominant. They pretty much run away with a 25-10 victory to end the Cardinals' night early. And, you know, Joe, the Coon Rapids, the Cardinals, really couldn't get into that match at all. Again, give credit to Andover. They controlled it from start to finish. And when they needed some runs, they went on some big runs to increase the score and get that three-set victory.
They had a couple of other girls who could definitely hit the ball well, but Serena Smith is an impressive player and an imposing figure on the volleyball court. The Cardinals did a little bit better in the second set. You would have hoped for a little bit more in the third, but Andover really got on a roll early against them in set 3 and ran away with it. Cardinals at Spring Lake Park tonight, and then they host Blaine on Thursday, and Blaine always one of the top teams in the Northwest Suburban. Swimming and diving team is coming off a busy week, looking forward to its final 2 dual meets of the season on Tuesday and Thursday. Cardinals had true team sections on Saturday after a visit from Champlin Park on Thursday. Coach Donaldson says the team's continued improvement and exceeding all expectations as he's really looking forward to tournament time. Cardinals didn't get a win against Champlin Park on Thursday, but their stars continue to shine bright. Megan Schultze, what a season for this young lady. Add another middle school record to the resume, 200 IM time of 220.77.
A special night for Gabrielle O'Grady, just not in this event. The 50 free is a good one, though, for Tamala King.
A little something stuck in my
She
throat.
races the wall at a time of 27-25, just missing the win to take second. You okay now?
Yeah, O'Grady spectacular on the board. Personal best, 243.75. Missed the school record by 5/100ths of a point.
Yep.
Megan Schultze chasing a middle school record she doesn't yet own in the 500 free. She does win the event easily in 5:36.87, second in middle school and 12th in high school records. Cardinals lose 98-72, but that's kind of an interesting one that she doesn't have the 500 free because there's only a couple of meets left, and I don't know how many times she'll swim it as a middle schooler.
It'll be interesting. But, you know, I just think that the great thing for this program is so many young swimmers contributing, as you saw there, and that bodes well for the continuance of this program.
Absolutely. Cardinals are hosting Cooper on Tuesday. They're at Elk River on Thursday.
All right. Well, tournament time is here for cross-country conference championships this week, and sections just 2 weeks away. The Cardinals had one last warm-up last week at Majestic Oaks. Some of the best programs in the state were there for the Blaine Invitational, and the Cardinals showed they can run with anyone. We're going to start with the girls. The Cardinals dropping down to the weaker white division, and they made sure to take advantage of the opportunity. It changes the strategy when you have a lot of runners at the front of the pack, which the Cardinals did. They were led all the way by 8th grader Alana Hedlund. Hedlund wins the race by more than 30 seconds, crossing in a time of 20:12.7. Rita Del Castillo finished 3rd, and then it was Michelle Ainacaba, the 3rd Cardinal, and finishing in 13th place overall. Olivia Eckelenbecker about 20 seconds behind her, taking 16th place in a time of 23:01.4. And Sarah Eichstad is the 5th Cardinals finisher. They win the white division with 52 points. Little different situation for the boys running in the tougher blue division. They're really mixing it up with the state's elite. No surprise to find Paul Breitbach towards the front of the pack, and he stays there to the finish. Breitbach finishes in 9th overall with a time of 16:50.6. Tanner Ost is in there next in a time of 17:27.4, which puts him in 27th place. Matt Dunn is in the crowd. He gets to the finish line in 49th. Then check out this group of red. Reed Smith, Joe Coughlin, and Joe's cousin, Nick Jorgensen, finished together in 57th, 58th, and 59th. Cardinals finished 9th as a team, pretty much in the middle of the pack.
And that's right where they wanted to be.
Yep.
Looking at the competition they were facing, that was a really strong finish for them. Girls, it's good to drop down and have that opportunity of being the team that's chased and see
Right.
how you handle that pressure. For this young Cardinal team, it should be very good because that will lead them hopefully to a position they're in more races next year.
No question.
They probably would have been somewhere in the lower half, but still up toward the middle, closer to the middle had they run in the tougher division. Northwest Suburban Conference Championships are on Thursday at Elk River. 5 AA championships are on Thursday, the 27th, and that's going to be at Anoka. Got to step backwards for just a second because I got so excited and choked up.
You were choked
as it
up.
obviously happened. We skipped over swimming and diving true team championships. Cardinals finished 7th in the 7 AA tournament. Galadriel O'Grady, though, a third place finish, 3:54.15. Creeping up the school record books for 11 dive competitions as well. Megan Schultze continuing to impress, a third place finish in both the 100 fly and the 100 breast. Same position she finished in last year in those two events. Times are better, position is the same. Tamala King was 5th place in the 500 free and 8th place in the 200 free. All right.
I know Coach Johnson said that it was a tough week for them because of all the activities going on for homecoming to keep everybody interested and focused. Correct.
Focus, and I think all coaches deal with a lot of that, including the football team, because they're the ones at the center of the hype.
Right.
It can't be easy to keep them focused with all the extra things going on around school and the pep rallies and everything else as well. It's something you hear every year about this time from the coaches.
I had that problem with you a little bit this week. It was tough keeping you focused, but you made it through.
I got a little squirrely.
Well, just more than normal. More than normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving right along, boys soccer team will start the postseason at Anoka on Tuesday. Last week, a couple of road games, including the final conference game of the year at Centennial on Thursday. Cougars are a little below 500, but 6-6 in the conference, play right in the middle of the standings. They had just snapped a 4-game skid, and in their final regular season game would be coming out hungry. Cardinals would definitely have their hands full. A way too familiar sight for the Cardinals, an opponent's penalty kick, and Demetrius Bertrandi takes advantage, makes it look easy. Centennial has the lead. More pressure from the Cougars in the first half. Off the corner kick, great header, but LePage makes the save. Rebound right back to Bertrandi with time and space, but LePage is back up, able to punch it up and out of play. Cardinals able to even the score off a free kick from just on their side of midfield. Great boot by Andrew Lynch. Deflection sets up Amir Hussein perfectly, runs in, redirects, and we're all square at 1. Centennial attacking down the left wing. Charlie Flatton trying to cut back, and he's taken down by Aaron Bauer, and that's going to lead to another PK. Alberto Lopez Benito gets the honor this time, and nothing to it. 2-1 lead for Centennial. Cardinals throw in deep in the Cougars' end. The deflection again, perfect for Hussein. He leaves no doubt on the one touch with the left foot. That tied it at 2, and that is how it ended. Good to see them finding some more offensive production since the loss of Ntambwe up front. They've needed people to step up. It's been some different people in some different games, but they need to be able to do that, score multiple goals if they want their season to go beyond Tuesday night.
Well, and two, they've not just Gale losing Gale, they've lost a couple of other players as well. So, that's nice to see them at least get the tie, an opportunity as get a little chemistry and a little continuity back before sections.
Yeah, and the scoring is important. They did it again on Saturday, put 2 up against Forest Lake. They get the victory over the Rangers to end the regular season at 6-8-2. And as we mentioned, they are headed into the postseason on Tuesday. They are the number 6 seed going to visit Anoka. Andover, the number 1 seed, will host Forest Lake. St. Francis has the long drive up 35 to visit the Greyhounds. Blaine will host Cambridge Isani, and we will be there Howie Shapiro.
We will be there, and make sure you take notice. It's an early start tomorrow, Tuesday, 5 o'clock game.
5 o'clock
5
game.
o'clock game.
And it'll be tape delayed here.
It will be tape delayed.
Can't do
no
it.
question.
Can't do it live. No lives. It's not possible.
We'd like to, but we can't. They won't
State
let us.
High School League rules.
I know.
That's the way it goes.
We tried to change it, but they didn't want to listen to us. The girls' soccer
Weird.
team. I know, isn't that strange? The girls' soccer team has struggled to find offense all season long, and it continued this past week. After three straight games with 2 goals apiece, the Cardinals thought maybe they had turned a corner. Unfortunately, around the corner was a wall called Centennial. The Cougars are undefeated, putting up big offensive numbers. At the same time, had only allowed more than 1 goal twice this season. Centennial's last home game and the weather was less than ideal. Cougars' machine was purring early, throw into their leading scorer, and Ashley Eberling turns and shoots towards the net, right bounce, and they elude the keeper, and Centennial is on the board. Cougars keeping up the pressure, great numbers on the rush. Josie Shawn taps it ahead for Eberling. She somehow gets the shot through Fraser. It's a 2-goal lead. We're still in the first half. Cougars attacking from the corner. The cross gets past all 4 Cardinal defenders and is there for Tessa Treadle to tap it in to make it 3. Centennial chugging right along. You know what? They're not yet finished in the first. Eberling left with some space. She lost it to the far side. Fraser gets a piece, but it's a hat trick for Eberling, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Cougars. They're going to add 2 more in the second half, and they cruise Joe Young to a 6-0 loss.
A team
or
that
6-0 win, I'm sorry.
A team that had scored twice in each of their previous 3.
Correct.
Getting 2 wins and a 3-2 loss to a very good Cretin-Durham Hall
Correct.
team. That kind of loss can definitely dampen the confidence you have just started to build.
Well, and you want to build that confidence, obviously, because we're into section time now, so you want to take that a positive momentum into that game on Thursday.
Unfortunately, they will go in with back-to-back shutout losses. They lost to Cretin-Durham Hall 2-0. Oh, who was it that they lost to 3-2 the week before? Now I'm backtracking. I'll have to figure that out after the show. 2-0, they lost to Cretin-Durham Hall.
That'll help everyone.
On Saturday, right?
Yeah. I think it was 3-2 to Totino, wasn't it?
Totino, there we go. There we go. Thank you.
Yep, no
Got
problem.
the 2 mixed up.
Yeah.
Nicole Fraser made 8 saves, Langenfeld made 5, and the Cardinals unable to put anything on the board, and that is a definite concern heading into the playoffs. The Cardinals weren't great this year, but they were good enough to secure a home game in the first round of the playoffs. I think that plays into their favor a bit. Spring Lake Park coming in on Thursday, and Howie will be there for that one as well.
We will be. And then hopefully they get past that one, and then the unfortunate thing is they got to match up with number 1 Centennial again after that the big 6-0 loss. Well, but one game at a time. You want to get past Spring Lake Park first, and then turn your attention to the next game.
So that leaves us with a very busy week here at CTN. We've got 2 playoff soccer contests coming up on Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesday, it's the boys, number 6 seed at number 3 Anoka, and then on Thursday, the girls, number 4 seed hosting the 5th seeded Spring Lake Park Panthers, and then on Friday, live coverage of the Cardinals' final home game of the season against the Osseo Orioles starts at 7 o'clock. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.